Wasn't really sure of what order to put this in, but I'm going to talk about spray painting. Obviously, there's airbrush. I'm not going to get into airbrush because I don't have one. It's too expensive for my level. I'm going to talk about spray cans. I mean, a great way to do the first base layer of your model is to spray paint it, because you cover it really, really nicely. And if you're going to do it all in gold, maybe it's a good idea to spray paint your entire model red or orange. What I'm going to show you now is a bit of another trick. I've basically been using two colors. Well, it's not much of color in there, but it's black and white. First, I coated the models in black, just covered them completely in black. And then I used the white, holding the bottle quite far away from the model, like 40 centimeters, half a meter, spraying into the air in a bit of an angle, sort of 45-degree angle, or sometimes just on top. And the white spray paint falls down and it sort of looks like, you get a depth in there. You get a 3D effect. You get a sort of a gray over all the entire model, but in the crevices it's black, and wherever you get pieces sticking out, it's white. It also gives you the illusion of like the sun shining on them or something like that, which in the end, when you paint another color on there, if it's not too thick, that'll sort of shine through and you get this depth to your model. It also brings out all the details. It was a lot easier for me to paint the models using this technique because you just see the details so much better. This just brings everything out. At this point, it's also worth mentioning that, however far you want to take this whole painting thing, if you just want to get your models together to play a game, this is quite a nice way just to paint your model, because, I think these look really awesome. Say if you had these Stormcast Eternals and you would, spray paint them black and then dust them with gold. I don't know what works because I never tried it. And just paint in some small details. You get a really nice painted miniature. So if you're not really into the painted thing, this could be an alley worth experimenting in if you want to get your entire army painted really fast. Now, just ending off with some details. When I did this the first time, I did not spray paint my models with enough white color. Like the Nighthaunt on the right, it's too dark. Whereas when I did it the second time, I ended up with something more towards the left, which is more gray. You still get the depth, but it's a lot easier to paint on a lighter color than the dark one on the right. Another thing I've noticed is that when you use these spray cans, when you do the dusty thing with the white, you do get sort of small dots of white spray paint. And further on when you paint, these dots will be visible. But I have noticed that if you use a toothbrush, when the spray paint is all dried out and I brush over it with a soft toothbrush, then I smooth out these sort of dots a little bit. Using airbrush, I don't think this would be a problem. It's just that when you use these big spray cans, like the actual particles, the little drops of paint that burst out of the can are still kind of large compared to the size of the model.